Good morning, sabaho everybody, sabaho, and welcome back to another episode of Saturday Morning with Tech. This one is episode 20. Today is May 16th. I actually did have to double check there. Matt Tyler's in the chat already and already starting it off with, and Matt, what an amazing super chat. Good morning, and welcome back, Matt. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having a good weekend, and let me know how things are going with you. And of course, thank you very much. Oh man, good morning. Everybody's starting to join in. Welcome back, guys. Sorry for the little bit of a delay on getting online today. I actually was a little bit kind of figuring out things, getting things set up, and I actually was kind of also debating about what to do about. I don't know if you noticed the cover page or the cover image for the actual show today included a device that I haven't. Well, it's actually about a couple of years old, and I'm talking specifically about this guy. It's an Honor View 10. Let you guys, obviously, I'm hoping you guys got a chance to see it and see what essentially will hopefully be maybe a nice little surprise for everybody. Charlie, welcome back. Matt, Gregory's in there, open as well there as well. Jonathan, well, good morning. Actually, it's hard for me to say good morning as much, really. It's 11 o'clock my time, and I'm pretty sure in the UK it's much later. Dude, we're doing good. Family's doing well. I learned the hard way this week that I need to keep up with my exercise to kind of work out some of the, I would say, stress or things that could come up, obviously, for an extended amount of time, as we're all in this situation going on right now. Oh man, 7 o'clock. Okay, wow. Yeah, okay, so it's not that bad. It's about 8 hours. Oh, that's true. It's 8 hours ahead of me. We are 8 hours difference between here and the UK. So it's 7 p.m. Good. It's not too bad. But yeah, so for me, I learned very quickly, and I learned it very hard, that I should never really skip my exercise routine. So for the most part, if you do have exercise routine that you stick with, please stick with that, because it does actually help with your mood and your just overall demeanor and everything. Gary the fireman's in the house. Aditya and Nil, welcome back, my friend. Sabaho, welcome back. Oh man. I don't know if you saw the comment I posted not that long ago, Aditya. I'm actually very surprised that you understand part of the Arabic. I didn't realize that you did from the live stream that I did on Tuesday. I want to say on Tuesday that I did that over on one of my buddy's Arabic channels. Yeah, good morning, man. Marlene is back in the show. Good, good afternoon here ahead. That's right. It's 2 o'clock. Actually, no, it's 2 hours ahead of me, right, Marlene? I think Texas is more Central Time. Hey guys, Gary's again. Tariq, ahlan. Oh man, Samir, ahlan. So we're getting more and more people showing up into the actual show, and Samir is one of my new followings that I actually started to follow over on Instagram. But I'll go ahead and summarize real quick what we're going to do today as people are coming in here. So overall, we're going to talk about three things. The big thing, obviously, in the news this week, which seems to be kind of like a continuing, I would say, theme for the last 3 episodes of the Saturday Morning with Tech, is we're obviously going to cover something related to the OnePlus 8. And that's something that actually is a lot of people talking about, which essentially is the X-ray vision, or what they're calling the X-ray vision, as it actually has a certain effect. One of the filters built in here to that fourth camera on the back of the device. Obviously, everybody knew there was a quad camera set up on the back of the OnePlus 8 Pro, but for the most part, the fourth camera was never really utilized other than just for one filter. And if you use the filter for which most of us use filters, you probably didn't even realize that it had an extra feature. On top of that, today I also want to talk to you guys about a device that most of us don't think of when we talk about smartphones or even phones in general. Now, this is not a smartphone. This is a durable Kyocera phone. I did a review about a couple of years ago on a Kyocera DuraForce, and that one was an earlier generation of this model. And I've been playing with this guy for the last couple of weeks, and this was actually sent to me by Kyocera. I want to say thank you very much to Kyocera for allowing me to check it out. And it's a Verizon phone in the US, but the reason why I want to share with you guys is because of the level of ruggedness that is built into this device. So we'll talk a little bit about that one in a video. Will be coming out very soon. And there is going to be a surprise about this. So I'll let you guys figure out what the surprise is. And obviously, my goal essentially is to keep it within the live stream. So that's pretty much how it's going to be. I did not advertise it outside. I didn't say anything other than basically just posting it on Instagram and Twitter, just allowing people to join in. So we'll let people start coming in here. And let's see here real quick. So Jonathan, let's see here. Here's a quick question. Off topic. So Jonathan Crumb's asking, off topic, is there a good TSP yet? Oh, okay. I haven't really covered it yet. No, we haven't gotten there. So we'll get to that. Give me a few seconds on that one. Uh, so hey, oh, so here, Matt's saying giveaway. I don't know. I don't know. I'll let you guys figure it out. I mean, you're yes, maybe. I don't know. I was supposed to do a giveaway on this phone a long time ago, and I realized this is obviously not the latest and greatest in all its flagships, but it actually is one of the very few devices that Honor did really well and also did release in the US. So for me, this is a US variant of the View 10. It obviously does have Google Play services. It does receive updates. It's not like it's out of coverage. And then of course, the best thing obviously would be is if you guys are able to benefit out of it, and that's the main goal here. So that's primarily what I want to be able to do. But again, we'll go ahead and cover on these things. We'll get a chance to jump in there. So it looks like a lot of people are already cool. Everybody's in here. What's my primary phone? Right now, the S20 Ultra is for my primary phone. I pretty much have my main SIM card in there and most of my personal applications and so on. So that's generally what I keep. But as far as secondary phone, it is whatever I'm actually working on for the next video. That's the best way to describe it. Currently, I actually have my SIM card sitting in as well in one of these guys. So I have I have two devices. One that I'm working on that I unfortunately can't share with that much on right now. But this one obviously is the TCL 10 Pro, which I have a video that's going to be coming up on Monday. I realize there's a few people that already kind of put out videos regarding the 10L, the 10 Pro, but actually these devices are going to be available on Amazon in US at least, unlocked for $450 and $250. But so $250 for the 10L, and then will be $450 with the 10 Pro. Let's just say it takes a lot of it helps with the stress. Yes, a lot of exercise and definitely help a lot. So work out, do as much as you can. It has an infrared cam. It's a filter. Yes, it's actually interesting. The infrared camera is basically what they're using in there. So depending on the material you're able to use, you're able to actually see through the material. So we'll get a chance to let's do that. Let's go ahead and jump over real quick. We'll start talking about the actual embargoed. So there are certain things in the lab that I am not able to talk about yet. But I promise you this, for the group, for the fan, everybody that's in the actual live stream, I think everybody in the live stream would really, really appreciate the stuff that I'm working on. That's the best way I can say it. Something we've talked about in the past, something that is something that's very exciting, and I think we can all appreciate. I'm hoping that by next Saturday I should be able to talk to you guys. I'm not sure. There's a little bit of logistical things going on there, but I that's as much as I can actually say. Yes, I'll confirm that it's a device. Yes, that much I can say. That's pretty much 90% of what I do on the channel, right, Matt? So Matt was asking, is it a device? So the SM57 is the smaller mic that I'm using right here, and it's actually an XLR mic that I'm connecting to a cloud lifter over to my Focuser, basically audio interface to my PC. So I have an audio interface on the side, and I also have a camera interface that I usually use for my secondary camera, and that actually works really, really nice. So hopefully I sound good to you guys. Is there... let's see here real quick. Is there a C2 functionality in the OnePlus 8 Pro? There is a function that works through it. Sorry. On the S20 Ultra, Gregory, I didn't get a chance. Let me scroll up over look here. Are the cameras getting better on the S20 Ultra? I think overall with every update, they try to improve it. I haven't seen the update that fixed the seeking or the hunting problem that's going on with the primary sensor. So as you guys know, the primary sensor on the Ultra is 108 megapixel camera. And for the most part, due to the fact that it's such a large sensor, the autofocusing on it is a little bit off whenever you're trying to take a quick image of somebody. So unless the subject is literally taking 90% of your field of view on the camera, it's a little bit hard to kind of actually... there's a little bit of seeking. So essentially the camera's having a hard time capturing the focus, and you'd have to end up doing either tap to focus or basically just literally make it so that it's very, very hard for it to not actually just take the focus there. So unfortunately not yet, but the cameras, I think overall, they're on par with most Galaxy cameras, generally slightly oversaturated. Colors are a little bit more obviously vibrant, but they're actually a good camera for day-to-day activity. Stabilization on it is really good, especially in video. and it's definitely very nice. I don't have any problem with it. I still prefer my Pixel for stills. That's mostly just a personal preference, but I do like the fact that it has 8K recording. Sorry, in here. So device, Matt Tyler. So yes, kind of confirmed it. The conversation will be about that hopefully next week. And of course, Terrence, let's see it real quick. Terrence had a quick question. Oh, no, sorry, this is Matt Tyler. Just typing it up in the chat for next week's video, definitely. Actually, speaking of Matt, if I'm not mistaken, Matt, is El Jefe going to be with you guys tomorrow? As I remember last week we talked about it. And make sure you guys, if you haven't had a chance to check out Matt Tyler's basically Matt Tyler's podcast going on tomorrow, and of course Aditya and myself will be in the chat over there as well. Matt's over there as well. It's updating on the side. So here, real quick, Tom, let me bring you back. Oh, Tissam Aditya is, sir, I'm on the OnePlus 7T, and I'm having an issue with the black background images and black backgrounds. I gets crashes. Are you talking about images that you're taking, or is it just general? Whenever the background is dark, you're having a problem with the dark mode on Android on Oxygen OS. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit on that one. It's good. No, yeah. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Sorry, Greg. Sorry. I read them as I see them, so I do appreciate you letting me know. So here, give her. I want. Yeah. Well, Matt, just for doing that. No, it's going to be open to everybody in the actual stream today. So that's the main goal. My thing, I would say, just I obviously need to have a way of basically capturing this after the stream is over. So my own thing I would say is after the live stream is over and the video is actually on YouTube as a regular video, I need you guys to do me a favor, drop a comment and hit a like on that video. I just want to make sure that get captured for everybody. That's going to be pretty much the only way to enter. I'm not going to do basically a big, please follow me on all of that stuff. You guys know all the socials, TK Bay, obviously on YouTube, TKDSL8655 on Instagram and on Twitter. So if you guys would like to follow me on the other social media activities, please make sure to do so. I'll be more than happy to, and I will not say no. Of course, oh yeah, Matt, sorry, Fat Produce is in here. Andrew is in the house. Tom as well. And then, so yeah, short answer is this. The giveaway is going to be, for the most part, exclusive to the live chat here. It's pretty much, I'll cover the shipping international, as you guys can imagine, since everybody's everywhere. The only thing I would say basically is I just need a comment and a like on the video at the end after the video is done, because I don't think the live stream conversations stay on the video after it's done. And just so that I don't basically break any rules within the YouTube algorithm, I'm not pointing you to any other direction, any other site. It literally, all it is, just like and comment on this video once it goes live. And then my goal essentially is by next Saturday on the live stream, or we'll see how things go. I want to give it some time, but essentially the main goal is very simple. Like and comment, and by next Saturday, the first thing I'll do, obviously, when we start that live stream is we'll announce the winner. And hopefully by the time I announce it, I've already confirmed it with that person, and I hope to have that in the mail for them by then. But yes, so kind of gave it away at the beginning of the video, but let's not waste too much time. I do want to talk a little bit about the OnePlus 8 Pro. So let's go ahead and switch over here. So, and we'll talk a little bit about this guy. This guy is really, really nice and very, very surprising as far as what you can get in 2020. And the fact that we still have flip phones that actually are quite nice and very durable, specifically for outdoor usage. Includes a 3.5mm headphone jack, and just because Aditya is in the comments, it feels really good in the hands. So we'll put that one on the side, and I'll go ahead and put the 10L on the side as well. So the camera that we're talking about today essentially is the camera that enables us to have a special feature, which some people are calling the X-ray vision, and that's really the functionality that once you turn on basically the little filters that you have here on the right side, there's the photochromatic or the photochrome filter. In essence, this filter turns everything almost like, I would say, it just has an interesting effect on the image. Most of us saw this, and we almost all discounted it. We didn't really take too much attention to it, because the reality of the matter is, actually, as far as regular pictures, let's go ahead and let me show you guys what I mean. Let me bring up the gallery app. I've taken many pictures with it, but it doesn't really do much in the sense of what it actually provides as far as the feature. So let's see real quick. If you just use this feature to take a picture, this image, which normally is very nice, very saturated, green grass, everything is beautiful, everything is colorful. And of course, you can see the details in there. It takes this picture and then converts it into this. It's not a conversion, but literally when you snap a picture with it, this is what it looks like. So you're getting basically a very much, a very, I would say, artistic view of it. So that's the best way to see it. But the main thing I want to say is that a lot of people didn't realize that this also had an additional feature that also impacted how the camera works with certain materials. It's not a true X-ray camera. It doesn't see everything, but it does have the ability to see through things. And depending on what you're looking at, you actually are able to see some additional stuff. So what I mean by this is essentially right here. So I have right here, this is, I think this is an Honor Band, if I'm not mistaken, one of the Honor Bands or one of the sport fitness ones that we have on the market. And if I do basically just put it over here, you can see that if you're taking a picture of it, it looks pretty much the same, right? You can see it. You don't really see anything through it. I'll go ahead and turn on the photo. Here it is, the photochrome option. So now the camera is switched over to that second sensor, and you can actually see the display. You can actually see the actual display entirely in there, and you can actually see the different shade of it. It doesn't see through all of it, but it definitely sees the display. So here we can see the display, and of course here we don't have a way of seeing the display. Now, that's not how it looks the best, but let me show you guys one more how it looks. So let's go ahead and open up the camera, standard camera. So you're looking at this pair of glasses. This is one of my wife's glasses. And of course, it's plastic. You can't really see anything beyond that, obviously. There is obviously some hinges here that you were able to see here on the side, but if you're looking at them on the front, there's nothing you could see. Camera does the exact same thing. I can take a picture, and this is pretty much what we see. If I turn on that little filter, and this is what everybody's talking about right now, look what happens to the actual mechanism. It literally becomes an X-ray vision camera. You're able to see exactly through it. Let me see. Can I take a picture? Hey, come on, here we are. So here we are. This is essentially what we're talking about. You're able to see through the plastic, not only see through it, but see the actual hinges. And of course, that just kind of gives you that whole side by side. And that's what everybody's talking about. It's focused on there, and it really looks very, very nice. Yeah, definitely really, really nice. Hold on, let me before it goes too far. Of course, thank you very much to Aditya and Neil. Thank you very much for the if I'm not mistaken, is that Krone? Is it called a chrono? I don't know what the currency is, but essentially, thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate it, of course, as usual. And I love the fact that you guys are able to stay with us and, of course, hang out with us for the day. And best of luck to everybody, obviously, in the comments as well. So I realize this is an issue in the an actual black, but I do want to mention that a little bit more information is needed for the actual comment just to be able to help you out. But give me a second and we'll get back to this one. And Patrick is in the comments as well. Hope everyone's being safe. Greg. Oh yeah, no, definitely. So what I wanted to show you guys essentially is, yeah, that's literally 90% of what this feature is. It enables you to see through certain things. So it doesn't work through everything. An example would be here. Let's say I turn on the camera, turn on the filter. Oops, we'll go back here, swipe over. And you can see it doesn't actually see through every single thing. It really depends on the material and how translucent it is to start. And so it does help. So some people have been able to use it to see through shirts. Some people are able to see through plastic, like certain covers of remote controls have given you different things. So right now, that's pretty much the magic trick that everybody's talking about as far as when it comes to the OnePlus 8 Pro. And of course, specifically to the Pro, because the standard OnePlus 8 does not have that. And none of the earlier generations have that. Yes, and it is definitely specifically because of the pigments on the plastic. Let me just go bring it over. It is very much the pigmentation on the plastic and how translucent and IR resistant it is. So it's one of those things you want to appreciate, obviously. It is a very interesting feature. Yeah, no, definitely. Marlene is actually, commented. It's a very interesting feature to have on a camera. Definitely very unique way of taking pictures. I feel like, if anything, it obviously keeps us talking about the OnePlus, of course. And yeah, I figured somebody was going to like the actual wallpaper here. So Aditya has love the wallpaper. Those live action Dragon Ball look really, really like. Unlike the one action movie, yeah, no, nobody ever talks about that movie. That movie doesn't exist. No, we don't talk about that one. But yeah, so big fan, obviously, as you guys know on the channel. So yeah, that's the big thing that's going on specifically when it comes to the camera. It's a good feature. I think it's a nice thing to have, but I feel like also I think this should have been something that I think OnePlus should have at least put in some of their material, or even highlighted. I feel like a lot of us basically, like I said, we went, took the pictures, and we started to take images with it, and we're like, okay, the filter's nice, but definitely needs a little bit more functionality added into the actual UI for us to make sense. And then I think somebody just stumbled on the fact that they were able to see through it. And of course, then the media thing kind of went on. And again, so this is what the glasses look like, obviously, in real life. Picture a standard image with it, but when you turn on the monochromatic, well, the little filter option that you have there and use that fourth camera, it looks really nice. So that's one of the things I want to talk to you guys. I also want to talk to you guys as well about the Ultra CV CM here. So basically, it's a Gcam port. It's a nice camera. A lot of us use Gcam. I know a lot of us actually love to optimize cameras on our OnePlus devices. And of course, thank you very much to Matt Tyler for the super sticker, and of course the super chat again, hitting us with all the love across the pond. Actually, Matt, did you guys ever decide on the new name for your podcast? I remember you guys were hunting for new names. Oh, interesting. So somebody's asking real quick, which mouse are you using? I'm using, this is a Gamester mouse. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Gamester. They make peripherals for gaming, for I think gaming setups for basically like a keyboard and mouse, basically a one-handed keyboard and a mouse for better gaming experience. And this is just the mouse that I use. So whenever I'm playing games on my PC, very much, so the PC that I have is the Acer Concept D. It's not a gaming PC by any means. But it actually does have basically a NVIDIA 2080, so it's strong enough to actually be able to run almost any kind of game I want to run it. And I like to use the Gamester accessory, which, if you ever learn anything on TK shows, everything's generally within arm's length. So it would be this guy. This is the actual setup that I'm using. It's called the VX2. This is the sorry about that. It's basically a one-handed keyboard with a little knob right there, as well as this actual keyboard mouse that comes with it, which is what I'm using right now. So let's see real quick here. So actually it happens on both in the background images and images captured, and even in YouTube if the video has any black background. What version of ColorOS are you running, if you don't mind? We'll come back to him. Middle, yeah, no, exactly. The OnePlus 7T or the OnePlus 8. If you want better telephoto images, I'd go to OnePlus 7T. I think that's the better situation. I think the OnePlus 8 lost that when they went with the depth sensor for the third camera. So I feel like a camera setup as far as over there, and you still have a 48 megapixel sensor there, and you're able to record 4K. So I think for the most part, the 7T is quite capable and will be a little bit less. If you have a preference over the display, if you like curved display over flat display, so 8 is has some curves on the edges, the 7T does not. So that also kind of works out. Overall, the display size and the tech, they're both 1080p, both 90 hertz. So I think hopefully that helps. UK time. UK time for the show. Oh yeah, definitely. So I think if it's 1 o'clock, starting 1 o'clock my time, it should be somewhere around 9 p.m. Matt's time. And Matt can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's what I remember last time. And now that I know it's 8 hours ahead of me, which I should have known anyways. Yeah, no, definitely. So here, Pratt Produce is saying, I didn't realize this, but the company in Kentucky still makes the old IBM model. IBM on keyboard. Okay, with the buckling spring keys. Oh, the Unicom keys. Okay, nice. Yeah, 9. So here, Matt's confirming, obviously, it's going to be 9 p.m. UK time. So if you're in the UK, it'll be 9 p.m. If you're in California, it's 1 p.m. If you're in the East Coast in the US, it'll be obviously at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And I think that's roughly Sam's timeline. So it's going to be Matt and Sam's live chat, and we'll find out more. Yeah, no, definitely here. Oh, man, no, definitely. Let's see real quick here. Are you going to use the OnePlus 8 Pro instead of the S20 Ultra? I think at this point, I'm using the OnePlus 8 Pro a lot to basically switch back and forth. I like the device, and I think at some point I may end up transitioning over to it. I still feel the fact that it's not, because it doesn't have 8K and there's a certain level of 4K. So the front-facing camera on the 8 Pro, although great at 1080p, but if you ever want to take video with it, for some reason they're capped at 1080p. They don't go any higher. And the S20 Ultra, let's go ahead and open here. The S20 Ultra definitely does a lot better when it comes to actually front-facing camera. It does 4K actually right out of the box, which is definitely very nice. So I appreciate that functionality a little bit more, especially when I need to record things and I need to be in the frame. But I think at some point I will probably end up switching over to the 8 Pro. It's definitely very nice. Ultra, QHD, 120 hertz, fast everywhere, fast charging. It's just crazy fast, and of course wireless charging, really, really fast. So I appreciate the comment on that one. How come you're not using the OnePlus 8 Pro as your main device at the time? So sorry. So this is open. Honestly, it's partially laziness on my side, and it's also because I want to be able to switch things. So here's what's going on. In about a couple of weeks or so, the first beta from around the time when the first beta from OnePlus is going to drop for the Android 11. At that point, whatever device I'm using, I need to have it a device that I'm able to be very comfortable to wipe. Wiping a device, and because I change devices all the time, I need to have a device that I don't necessarily have all of my personal information. And I mean by that, I say personal applications like banking apps and so on. So for that, I generally will keep it on one phone and I'll put it on the side. I will use the OnePlus 8 Pro as a primary device, although keeping the S20 Ultra with me. But I hope that makes sense a little bit. I change things so often, it's hard for me to keep one phone that I need to basically keep, obviously running all the time. So with the fact that the developer preview is going to come out and I want to install it on the 8 Pro, I don't want to lose any of my information. If I have to, let's say, reformat it, or basically, just do a quick reset on it to be able to jump back into stable channel, all of these things, obviously, I need to be able to accommodate. And setting up all those personal things take a lot of time. So nothing against the phone. I love it. It's a great phone and it has a lot of new features, but it just, for me, for consistency, it's easier just to have a phone that I obviously use and play with, but doesn't have any of the personal stuff that I need to make sure that obviously stays consistent. Here real quick, does the OnePlus 8 Pro here does the OnePlus 8 Pro Pro have green tint issue? So my unit doesn't actually seem to suffer from either the green tint or the black crush issue as far as the coloring issue. That issue has been identified on some units. Not everybody has it, and as far as I understand is that the update is coming and they're going to fix it, but I don't know whomever has it. If you have it and you're able to still exchange your device, I would definitely recommend you just doing an RMA, replace it, and get a new unit. That should fix your problem. Hopefully, obviously, you don't get the same issue twice. Switch a little bit more. Oh, here. So you're using Android 10 on Oxygen OS, and yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, no, from India. Welcome. I appreciate it. So I haven't heard of this issue. The only thing I probably would say is so anything that has black coloring in there. So it's almost like it's a panel issue. I'm hoping it's not a panel issue. And lastly, the only thing that I can actually think of, generally, whenever there's a problem where there's a consistent problem across the entire thing, is I recommend a flash to install a clean install on the device to see if the problem sits there. So my recommendation would be is try this. You have the OnePlus Switch application installed on your phone. Back up your phone to a device. So make a backup and take it off your phone. So back up your apps and everything off of that. And then once you're done with that, restore, just do a clean install of the latest build. So download the latest build directly from OnePlus's site, flash it, do obviously clear cache everything, and see if the issue persists. If it does persist, then you know it's a hardware issue. If it doesn't persist, then just do a straight restore, and then you should be able to get back to normal to where you are. I think that's the best way because it's not a software feature and it's not something that should be happening. My worry is that it is something to do with the display. So that's the best way to describe it. I haven't heard of a specific issue like that running on specifically on Android 10. So it's not a software concern. But do let me know how that works for you, please. Oh, dude, Steve, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back. Bon matin, Monsieur B. Bon matin, bonjour. Hey. Oh yeah, that's right. Canadian, yes. Bon matin. I always love I always forget the fact that. So if you're familiar, obviously the French language, obviously there's French Canadian and European French or French Parisian French, and Canadian always sounds very. It always surprises me because the combination of the words, and it's very much the same way. Obviously, we speak with different dialects, but bon matin to you too as well. And I forgot that you spoke French. Welcome to the channel, man. We can make this the international show. I like the show. I like the show to keep to be really, really cool like that. And of course, Greg as well. Appreciate, man. Thank you very much. I'll always appreciate all the love from you guys, and definitely always happy to have you guys on the channel and talking and kicking it and just having fun on Saturday. You know what? We're all home. Why not kick it and have fun together? Yeah, so the black crush here. So the black crush is an issue on certain TVs as well. So it depends. It depends again on. Yeah, I my main concern that I'm having with a lot of the devices, specifically like the issues that we've heard about the OnePlus devices, is just keep in mind everybody that has the OnePlus 8 that purchases it or gets the device is within a return policy period. If you have an issue like that, my recommendation is just to replace it. Not that I don't trust that OnePlus will release an update, but I feel like this is something that if it's a concern enough, they should be able to replace it for you and give you a unit that does not have any of these issues. So that will always be my recommendation. For me, for some reason, I don't have either the green tint or the black crush issue with the darker colors. So that's something you want to be aware of. But my only thing I would say is just make sure that it is an issue, and if it is, you're within the return policy. Just set up an RMA, send it in, and replace it, and hopefully you still have another device to be able to use in the meantime. Um, that French accent. Yes, and I sound very different when I speak different languages, right? So it's like, quand je parle le français, c'est très bien, mais il y a beaucoup de choses qu'on peut pas parler dans le même temps, dans le même temps. Ça. I'm like really frustrated. Le français, c'est un langage très bon, mais le français canadien est un petit peu différent que le français à Paris. Quand on parle le français au Canada, je pense que c'est comme si le langage de notre pays, mais on peut comprendre nous-mêmes quand on parle avec moi. Hopefully I said that right. I'm sure Steve right now is laughing at me. But and of course when I speak in Arabic لما بحكي العربي الصوت بيتغير الحركات والكلمات بتتغير كتير قوية. But speaking of languages, actually I did want to mention to you guys Samsung's fault for or OnePlus fault. I think if it's a panel issue, obviously it's going to be a Samsung concern, but that's why I'm saying you should be able to replace it as far as the issue itself. So first and foremost, I think if you guys maybe have caught it out or not, I did post over on Twitter, on Instagram on Tuesday. I actually jumped on a live stream on my Arabic channel with one of the Arabic creators out of Kuwait. His name is his channel is called Slorgor Ahmed, and it was actually a very nice, like roughly about a 2.5 hour chat that I did with him on his channel, talking about some of the other stuff that we did, obviously on XDA. I did post actually a hands-on video or a review of the MagicBook 14 as well. And then, of course, the other video that I posted, which I think a lot of us talked about last week during our live stream. Yeah. So that literally translates to in Arabic. And then last Sunday, actually, I posted a video mostly because of what happened with us here last week on Saturday when we were talking about the Bullets Wireless Z. And we literally, I went back and watched the show. It literally should have been called the OnePlus Bullets Wireless Z show. We talked about that so much, and a lot of people wanted to know about the latency and the concerns with the latency on those headphones. So I did the video for you guys on Sunday, and that one's actually doing as well, pretty good on the channel. But the other video that I did put together as well was a gaming video for you, just kind of comparing the Black Shark 3, the international global model, and comparing that to the Red Magic 5G. Now, the Red Magic 5G, as you guys know, obviously, it's the fastest, I would say the fastest display in the sense, not by resolution, but by speed. It has the fastest refresh rate of 144 hertz. And the main thing I wanted to share with you guys on that one is that there's a lot of benefits of having that refresh rate on a device. But I love the fact that you're able to go between 60, 60, 90, and 144. So it's not set to 144 all the time. We have the cooling system that's there. And then, of course, the Black Shark 3, which is another gaming phone. Now, that one's made by Xiaomi. Nubia or ZTE makes the basically the Red Magic 5G. And the Black Shark 3 is not the Pro model. The one I have is not the Pro. I did put in a request for that one. I'm hoping for them to give me access to that, hopefully, as I feel like the Pro felt closer to the Red Magic 5G, mostly because of the fact that it also has triggers. The Red Magic 5G has air triggers, which gives us access to be able to have better control when you're playing games. But yeah, that video went up in the middle as well, and I put that one on the Arabic channel. So definitely a lot of good things there, especially if you're considering getting in 860, Snapdragon 865, 8 gigs of LPDDR5 RAM, UFS 3.0 storage, nice sleek RGB colors on the back, as well as nice customizations, and of course, just the best gaming experience you can get on a phone, but not necessarily the best camera experience on a phone. A little bit of a different mixture there. So that video did go up on I think, was it Wednesday or Thursday? But yeah, so a lot of things going on. Let's go ahead and do a quick, let me show you guys the actual, the Honor View 10. Let's switch over to that one real quick. So here we are. And let's do here. Okay. So we'll go ahead and put this. We'll let this one go in. Let me just open up the box for you guys. See everything here. So I did want to say that, yes, this device is new. And I did wanted to double check real quick, make sure that it actually still powers on and everything. I've had the box for some time. I powered it on. And of course, first thing that it does, it wants to download and install and update. The fingerprint on the Red Magic 5G. Hold on, let me bring the phone up here. Okay, so let's put the OnePlus. Sorry, let's put the View 10 on the side for a second. Here's the Red Magic 5G, and here's the, of course, the right there. So here, Red Magic 5G. Let me go ahead and unlock, clear some notifications. As you guys know, we are live. The live stream is on. So let's go ahead and bring it on. Yeah, so I saw the video that Marquez put out and basically called it, this was a tie for him as one of the worst experiences on a fingerprint sensor. I'm not sure why. I mean, it's not the worst for me. It did get better. There is a slight possibility he and I are running different versions of the software. Let me go ahead and open it up. If I'm not mistaken, let's go ahead and open here. We'll go down, not app info, about phone. So where are with the version software? Red Magic OS here, device. So I'm running, from what I understand, I'm running the latest version of it. So system update here. So here, I don't know if you guys could see it right there. I am running version 4.0.9. So this is the latest version that's available. A buddy of mine, Brandon, out of the UK, did actually get this update to sideload, and I did sideload it on mine. So here, the fingerprint sensor. Yeah, I mean, you need to know where the fingerprint sensor is. If you don't know where it is, obviously it's going to be, and I'm doing it as many times as possible just to kind of show you guys what it looks like. And here, so I'm not sure why the issue he was having. It could just be a software update. So I'm just saying to say that maybe Marquez's version is running at the last version that was available, which is 3.09. But at least on 4.9, the fingerprint sensor has definitely been fixed. No problem here. And this again is the Black Shark 3, which also features a fingerprint sensor. That one I felt like is a little bit. I mean, I think what they do essentially is they're using the animation to light up the fingerprint sensor so that it actually reads our finger. So I don't think it's bad, but the animation definitely does slow it down. And here, one more time, it unlocks. It may not be the fastest, but it's accurate and it works. And it definitely looks really nice. So that video is on the channel. If you guys haven't checked it out, you can definitely see what it looks like. Let's go ahead and put these guys away. Gaming. Yeah, no, absolutely. 10 out of 10 on the fingerprint sensor. Not a problem at all. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure if Marquez had the latest version of the software, but for me at least, it works perfectly fine. There's no issues at all, and hopefully that little demo, kind of just gave you exactly what it looks like. So here, this is the Honor View 10, and as you guys could see, it is installing an update. So let's go ahead and do this. I am not going to break the plastic for you. If I can try that here. So I am not going to, so we'll do this. So here it is. I'm not going to open up the IMEIs because whomever ends up winning this, obviously, if they're going to use it, they don't want to have any problems. So we have a dual camera setup on the back, obviously single camera setup on the front, that nice little Honor blue coloring. This is the View 10 again, not used, just making sure to update it. Of course, we have updated GPU turbo built in here. US model. So this one will be a dual SIM, a dual IMEI. So yeah, definitely. We have 128 gigs of internal storage, 6 gigabytes of RAM. Model number is BKL-L04. So very simple, very easy. And in the box, we have obviously a case. This is a full retail package. And of course, USB-C to USB-A, very easy. And of course, US style charger. And this is a Huawei charger, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Huawei supercharge built in the box. Not 40 watt. Obviously, this is 2 years old, but definitely the fast charging from Huawei. And you can see here the UI, very, very nice. Let's go ahead and just do this. Yeah, finish. And definitely very nice panel, large display, very good. And of course, dark mode is present here. And I think if I'm not mistaken, I think it just updated itself to the latest version. So system, let's go about. And no, we're still running Android 8. I think there's a few more updates that we need to download and get it. Because if I remember correctly, it did get updated. Well, It looks like it's not going to push out right now. Sometimes some of the updates from Honor require a SIM card in here. So definitely very nice device, very clean and very good. And of course, will definitely make a really good phone for anybody. It does have a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack, really nice USB-C connection, and of course the IR controller here to be able to control your TVs. So again, the rules for this are very simple, very, very simple. It is pretty much just going to be for whomever's watching or obviously that watches the video right now, and of course through the week. The main thing is just like and comment on the video. So if you don't mind, and of course if you're following the channel, that will always be appreciated. And this device will end up basically be a prize for one lucky person on the channel. And of course, I will make sure to announce this first thing when we get into the live stream next week. This is going to be international, and I will cover the shipping. The only thing I don't have the ability of covering is import taxes. So just be aware, if you live in a country that does charge import taxes on devices, that will be a responsibility for you to let, obviously to take care of that once that does get into your customs. Because at that point, it's something outside of my control, and I don't even have a way of connecting with them. But I will definitely reach out to you via a DM. So basically, I will respond to your comment to whomever is the winner, and of course, wait for you to get back to me. Of course, there. So nice, very good, and I want to say I forgot to give this phone away a long time ago. I was given this phone to give away, I want to say at least over a year ago. But I was looking through my stuff in the office and I found it. So it's definitely a very nice little surprise for somebody that can enjoy it. And this could be a really good phone for somebody in your family, to yourself. A second phone, definitely very good. Dual SIM. And of course, there's no 5G obviously, but still it should be really nice and it should work really, really well for you guys. So let's switch back to the comments. Let's see if we have any comments here. I'm still mourning my LG V60. What happened, man? Did you wait? Actually, no. Now I'm trying to remember. I think we talked about it. Do me a favor. Remind me what happened with the V60, bro. Oh yes. So hey, Chemi's in the comments. I'll be participating because I can always I always comment like, of course, man, of course. Chemi's actually one of my buddies that he and I have actually gone on a trip for Honor one time a couple of years back to IFA. So we met up around the time where it was IFA. I mean, he and I were for an Honor event, and then I kind of stayed a little bit longer for IFA there. Very, very nice there, and it was really cool. It'll be see, definitely, yeah, no, if it, V60 there. It's a good display, plus the phone has the same style. Yeah, no, it's definitely a nice display. It's a large display. Not going to be obviously a QHD display. It's a 1080p panel, but the View 10 actually had a really nice setup camera. It's a dual camera setup in the back, and of course, again, like I said, this should be really good as a secondary display or even a media consumption. Should be really nice. But again, I think it's running some really good hardware. Even 2 years later, it'll still be very, very powerful for what you need. Should be able to run almost anything you have as far as gaming or even just applications and so on. Plus, it does have a Google Play Store installed on it, and it does actually work. So there's no issues there. There's no concerns as far as that part. Hey, thank you, Gary, for the super chat. TKR Bay every time, and I appreciate it. Gary, the fireman's in the house, man. I appreciate it. Always happy to see that. I love the thumbnail you have. It's a beautiful smile, man, and it definitely really makes you smile when you look at it. Always appreciate it. So here, I had to move back. To the UK, and the mobile. T-Mobile version doesn't support the UK 4G. Wow. Oh, wow. That is a bad. So that's even a concern. So for Matt, because I think Matt was thinking about it at one point to try to find a used T-Mobile version. So it won't support the 4G, and it won't even probably support the 5G bands that you have there because of the US the sub-6 technology. So I wonder if the Verizon version would be the exact same situation. But I'm sorry about that, man. The V60 is definitely yeah. We'll have to see how that goes. Maybe they'll change their minds and release it. I'm still actually waiting to see on the Velvet, the situation with the Velvet, where they're going to release it officially. DT always doing that, man. You said it. Does it have the Play Store? Of course, yeah. So anything up to the View. Actually, take that back. if I remember correctly, the Honor 30, the Honor 20, and the Honor 20 Pro was roughly where the concerns started to happen around the Play Store. So this was before then. So the View 10, the View 20, both have they do have the Play Store. So this has it, and it'll update directly. So there's no side loading. So all of the stuff that Google supports for security purposes, this is going to work perfectly fine. There's no side loading, no issues, notification problems, whatever. And if there is any updates that gets pushed, the Play Store stays in there. They're allowed to keep that in there. So yes, one of the reasons why I was very happy to find it. And since I don't really need it, and I don't really have a way of basically having any I don't really have a way of basically making it work for me as a second device or even as a third device. I figured you guys would definitely appreciate it more. And whomever wins it, this will make a great gift for, again, like a younger sibling, a younger person, or even a family member, like a parent or someone that just need a good, reliable phone that will do the job, has a big display, and obviously works great. And the cameras are pretty good. I like the dual camera setup. I think a lot of us appreciated that when they first came out with the first dual camera setup on the View 10. As when they went to the View 20, the camera configuration went a little bit different. So a lot of people loved that one there. Steve in the comment. So Steve is on the V60 right now playing Pokemon on the go. So see, that's the beauty of it. You can do things at the same time. Run a full app. So he's running Pokemon Go on the second screen display, and then of course watching using the main display as well. You can actually, if you want to run a split screen on the main display and a second app on the second display, that's 3 applications running at the same time. Very few non-foldable phones can actually make that claim. Or no, maybe tablets. I think tablets can do that as well. Simon says, hi, Hypno says, I'm back on the OnePlus 7 Pro. Great. It's a great phone. And I'm definitely running the latest, should be running the latest version of Oxygen OS. And I'm assuming you're running the dual SIM version, which should be able to support 4G in the UK very nicely. I like that one. Actually, it's I think, although I prefer the 7T's aesthetics from the fact that it's a flat display, the 7 Pro that I have has 12 gigs of RAM, which is much better as far as having the slight overclock that we got with the 855 Plus. So if you have the 7T, it's the 7 Pro with more RAM, it's still going to perform quite well, especially in 2020. And again, 4G LTE, it's very fast. Here, let's say Gary. Yeah, definitely. Gary thinks the exact same thing, loves it. Let me double check here. The global version does. Yes, the global version should be able to do that. Matt Tyler's in there. Yeah, I'm not sure as far as speeds, and maybe you guys can let me know in the UK when it comes to 5G. I think for the most part, at least here in the US, unless you're on Verizon, and what I mean by Verizon, I'm talking about the millimeter wave version of the 5G on Verizon. The reality is you're not really getting that much different speeds than what you normally get with 4G LTE. Sprint did have that a little bit faster in the US, but then Sprint now merged with T-Mobile, so hopefully T-Mobile will start having higher speeds. But for the most part, 4G LTE on T-Mobile will get you roughly about the same speed. It may have better data penetration as far as working in buildings and so on, but as far as overall throughput, you're getting the exact same experience. We haven't hit the point where the sub-6, at least the low band that T-Mobile is using before getting Sprint access to the mid-band, that gives us this whole ridiculous 300 to 400, 500 or 600, or even 1,000. Millimeter wave is roughly the only one that goes that high. Sprint went into about 400, and that's literally with no obstacles. Whenever you start putting obstacles, the signal doesn't necessarily work as high, but it's still about 200 down. So that's really where we want to see 5G. In the US, I feel like if you're 4G LTE right now, you're roughly about the same boat. You're not really changing that much. So the global V60 does support UK 4G and 5G bands in the UK. So that's definitely, of course, anything that's released global should definitely have a wider support for bands. This is the problem with the T-Mobile one is, again, it's carrier, right? So T-Mobile restricts what they want and what they want to add in there, and I'm not saying it's a bad experience. If you're on T-Mobile and you're traveling with it, that's not going to be a problem. But if you're using it and you want to use it on another carrier, yes, that could be a concern as well. Let's see here. The price of the Velvet is a concern. I think yeah, I'm not gonna deny the fact that I was very excited about the Velvet, and I still am. Even though it does have a 7 series chipset, I think it's definitely a really good design. Looks good. The aesthetics, of course, are starting to basically see what LG can do to create a more I want to say, aesthetically pleasing device. That's the best way to say it. I'm not saying the V60 is not that great. That's just basically reflecting on some of the stuff that we've seen in the past. The design looks really good. We have that curved display. We obviously have we saw that it's going to support Wacom display, as well as hopefully a second case for it. But the price point is a little bit higher. But I'm hoping that it maybe will be different when we see the price point in your non home related pricing. So the pricing we saw was essentially intended for the local market where the valve is released. So if it does go internationally, I'm hoping that the price gets a little bit lower. And then, of course, the best thing I would probably say is let's just wait and see how things are and the initial, basically, people starting to buy it and use it and see how the camera perform. I think for the features, they're definitely putting in some of the costs that they put in the R&D. It's a first of its kind. We'll have to see how the Velvet performs. It looks great, and I'm really excited about that part of the design. But we still need to be able to see how does it compare. And of course, battery life on the 760, I think was it 765 or the 768, will definitely be something for us to keep in mind. That it also has 5G connectivity. So here, let's look at this one. How about the OnePlus 8 Pro tempered glass screen protector? Can't find a good one. Still, Jonathan. I know we had this comment last week. I looked as much as I could, and I haven't been able to find a good one. Like I said, I think kind of this re-echoing what we saw last week. The carriers don't have it in the US, so I haven't been able to see it, and OnePlus is not releasing one, and I'm not sure why. And I've had in the past other companies that I've worked with, like tempered glass from Dome, that are generally really good, easy to install. They're not supporting the 8 Pro this year. I don't know. I'm surprised. The retail version of the OnePlus 8 Pro should have a plastic protector. Mine didn't come with one. So that would say that's the best way to look at it. At least you have something on there, and I wouldn't remove it till we have a good one. But I'm still looking on something for that one. So it's $799 for the $799 US for the V60, $735 roughly, which is a little bit concerning. Yes, no. It's when you think about the fact that if you have the option to get the V60, that's definitely almost like a no-brainer for me. I would definitely go with the V60, not only just because of the fact that you are going to get a much better. I think the overall aesthetics. I feel like it's the display, the device, the built-in hardware, but also because you're getting the 865 and that 5,000 milliamp battery that you have built in there. Then to have something that is again intended to be more fashion. I would say more fashion. They really went with the design on this one to make it more fashionably appealing. So yeah, I appreciate the fact that the V60 is $799 to start with. If you're able to pick it up directly, I think what you're referring to is T-Mobile in the US sells it for $799, and then again once it becomes available globally, $799 will be the price for that. But I think on the secondary market, the V60 is even lower than that. So to start with $735 with the 7 series chipset. It's hard, especially when you just released the V60 a few months before. You're right. So I have the Galaxy Note 10 Plus. Should I upgrade to the Galaxy S20? So if you're talking about the standard S20, I'd probably say no. The S20, the Note 10 Plus is definitely a much better device than the S20, unless you really want that 120 hertz refresh rate. I still think, and of course 5G. If you're going to switch over from there, I would definitely go to the S20 Plus. Maybe not necessarily even the S20 Ultra. I would go for the S20 Plus. I think that would be a much better upgrade for you. You'll notice that the benefit of at least is the screen display, the resolution, and of course you'll be able to get 5G there if you want. Also keep in mind that the S20 doesn't support Verizon. The S20 Plus and higher supports Verizon. So those are things you want to keep in mind as well. Vishal, thank you. Appreciate it. I didn't realize there was going to be a big demand on the wireless Bullet Z as much as I did. But I'm really happy that I was able to buy them as soon as they became available. They sell out pretty quickly. So they always pop up on the store as like they show up and they disappear. And I was able to snag a pair. And of course, I'm really happy with the way they work. For gaming, there really isn't that much there's not much I can complain about that. Music-wise, I wouldn't necessarily use them. I would probably just say, if you're listening to a podcast or an audiobook or something like that, they work perfectly fine. But like bass-heavy music, that would be my only thing. I would go for the wireless Bullets too there. Salam ahlan. Maher, it's simple. All you have to do is like and comment on the video when the live stream is over and it's on its own on YouTube. Mostly because of the way YouTube works right now, it doesn't actually keep any of your comments once the live stream is over. So all the comments we get in the live stream right now disappear, and then we need to basically put new comments in there. So just again, and then I'll announce the winner hopefully by the end of by not the end of next week, by Saturday next week, which coincidentally should be Eid for me, which or at least the day after Eid, which means we're actually in the last week of Ramadan. So yeah, definitely in the final stretch right there. Huawei Mate 30 Pro, BD or oh, sorry, better. So is the Mate 30 Pro better than the P40, or as a P40 better? Um, it's a little bit of an interesting question. Both of them have, obviously, they're both running the same processor, right? So both, there's not really much difference there. Both support 5G. Yeah, I take that back. I think the Mate 30 Pro doesn't. The initial batch of Mate 30 Pros that were released were 4G LTE. The 5G model was only available later on. So depending if you're talking about that one, I think they're very comparable. But from a zoom level, I feel like the P40 Pro definitely has a much better camera. I like the aesthetics on the way they went with the P40 Pro with the camera bump on the back. So it's a toss up between between both of these devices. I think if you're looking for a good experience for the long haul for support and update, I think the P40 Pro will definitely work better. I feel like the Mate is more definitely better appealing in the sense of aesthetics. The camera, the bump that we have on the back. There is that whole gesture situation with the Mate 30 Pro where you have no buttons on the side other than the power button. So if you like more of that waterfall display, I feel like the Mate 30 Pro will do it for you. But if you want more of just a slight curve with more of a flat back and kind of just curves on the side, not that too sharp of a drop, and still have a volume rocker button, I think the P40 Pro will work better. Cameras on that I definitely appreciate more on the P40. So here, me بالمية أهلا Samir. Yes, so that's 100% right there in Arabic for from Samir right there. Here, TK, how are the cameras on the Red Magic and the Black Shark 3 Pro? Okay, they're good. They're how, I don't want to make it sound like they're bad. They're good cameras. I think they would say they're average cameras. They're good cameras and average performance and good lighting. I wouldn't necessarily depend on them for low light performance or basically kind of. So there's no 4K. Sorry, I think there's no 4K. There's no 8K recording on the Red Magic, but I think there's the 8K. I take that back. There is 8K recording on both. I take that back. That was something that was available from Xiaomi and from Nubia. I think they're okay. That's the best way to say it. They're good cameras. If you're getting the device for gaming and you want to take a picture here and there, and there's good lighting, I think you're going to do fine. There are better cameras on the market for better, dynamic range and performance. The software that they have right now needs some update, and I would probably say if we're able to get a Gcam port over to one of them, since they're both running the 865, they should be able to perform a lot better. But I wouldn't necessarily buy them for their cameras. I would buy them for their gaming performance and the fact that they're just really fast, crazy fast devices. Yeah, no, definitely they're definitely good gaming phones. Um, so the Galaxy A series, I haven't really had a chance to play that much with it. So sorry, this was a question from Santosh. He's saying basically, what do you think about the Galaxy A Quantum, the A Quantum series? I haven't had a chance to play or to check out that much information on them. Honestly, I don't know. I would say, let me know what you guys think of them. Have you looked into those? Um, so Steve is asking real quick. So camera quality is always second, though, on gaming phones. It is, and even though generationally, when you get a second version of it, like again, that was one of the main key points that they wanted us to focus on, or at least that they pointed out to us, is the fact that they had multiple sensors this year, that the fingerprint sensors in the display. Those are things that we appreciate. But yeah, I think when you're buying a phone that's mostly designed for gaming, you're primarily going to be getting that for either just that feature. You're not really buying it for the cameras. Having cameras in there for video chatting and so on, I think those are going to do fine. But they're not going to be basically any kind of high performance cameras that you're going to be basically going out and taking these really, really good images. In good lighting, they should perform well. And of course, they do have some AI functionality. Xiaomi did put in their app in there. And of course, Nubia did the same thing. Let's quickly check. Yeah, no, definitely. Simon says, hypo. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let's work quickly here. How are you? Just wanted to understand, why does Android 1 isn't copying up with keeping up with updates. I'm not sure if this has to do something with the situation right now, but I think it's as an initiative, Android 1 was supposed to be up to date as much as or as fast as Pixel line of devices. Is there a specific version or device that you're running Android 1 on that is not receiving the updates? If you'd like, please let me know, of course. What is the best phone with a Snapdragon 865 to me right now? if I had to look for the combination of all the features in there, so basically, good camera, fast device, running the latest processor, obviously the 865 with the X55 modem. I actually have to say the 8 Pro would be my device of choice. Sorry, I said the 8 Pro and didn't say which one it is. Switch over here. And let's see, we're here. So this is what I'm talking about. This is the OnePlus 8 Pro. The cameras on this is actually pretty good. Obviously, as you guys saw at the beginning of the live stream, we now have that little see-through option with almost an X-ray situation. The design's really good. Fast charging, reverse wireless charging, fast wire charging. Of course, decent cameras. The Gcam mod actually works really good, which I kind of started to talk about, but we didn't get a chance to finish. And of course, just overall aesthetics. QHD 120 hertz display looks really nice. And the front-facing camera is actually pretty good. I think overall, right now, this actually kind of wins it for me. If I had to kind of basically pick what would my device be, if I had to basically weigh a little bit more, I probably would take the Pixel 5, especially because the Pixel 5, I'm hoping will be running an 8 series chipset. Although there's some, as you guys know, there's some rumors talking about the fact that it's going to be running potentially a Samsung SoC as the main processor for it. So we'll have to see. So Matt Tyler is talking. So the Pocophone F2 Pro is the cheapest 865 phone, but not the best. But not sure about the cheapest phone. Great value overall as a phone. So from a specification standpoint, when I saw the spec on this thing, it's for the price point. I think if we compare that with the Red Magic 5G or even the Black Shark, I feel like they're roughly about the same price point. All of them are running basically the 865. What I felt like the biggest thing that I didn't see, and till I'm able to actually play around with the Poco F2 Pro, it's hard for me to tell is how the camera is going to perform. But I also didn't see, or I didn't really hear about it, the fact that it actually had any higher refresh rate. They didn't mention it at all. So my hope essentially is that we'll see how that device runs. Price point, obviously, it is primed for speed. They did do a straight head-to-head comparison on benchmarks and benchmarks alone against the OnePlus 8 Pro, which I've actually found it to be very surprising that they were literally marketing themselves as we are the flagship killer and we are cheaper and better than the OnePlus 8 Pro. So I can't wait to get one in my hands again to check out and hopefully share with you guys my experience. But I was very surprised about the Poco F2. The F2 Pro it was definitely nice. They're promising us really good cameras, great audio. Obviously, this is again one of the things that they kind of talked about at the live event of the live stream. I love my OnePlus 8 Pro. Absolutely. Great device. No questions about it. I think OnePlus finally listened and brought in the wireless charging and of course, reverse wireless charging. And not only that, we also have, really fast charging on the wire. So there's no question that when they do it right. I was going to go with the OnePlus 8, but I'm going to stick with my S10. I think that's actually a good deal. If you're going to go with the OnePlus 8, I think the S10 still provides you with better experience. I think the resolution on that display is a little bit higher. It doesn't have the higher refresh rate, so you're not getting the 90 hertz, but you're definitely going to be getting some of the best experiences. You still have a 3.5mm headphone jack. You have the fast charging, reverse wireless charging, and wireless charging. A lot of things going on for the S10. So if you're happy with it, I would definitely stick with it. And if I'm not mistaken, you should be running on the One UI 2.1 already if you received that update. Asking as with what's going on and being in LA as well, Apple Pay and Google Pay has been the only I got to stop it. The only method I've been paying at grocery stores. So actually, believe it or not, yes. So I've been using a combination between obviously Google Pay as well as the Samsung Pay option. And then of course, I still get a little bit people confused when I try to go in there. Like I go with my OnePlus 8 and I'm like trying to pay and they're like, sir, yeah, just send it's Google Pay. Or if I go and they don't actually have support for any of the services, right? They're like, oh, sorry, sir, we don't support Apple Pay. And I put my phone on the side. This is the S20 Ultra. And because it does actually have the magnetic strip replication, so you remember this is the only one that supports not just NFC payment, but also supports the ability of actually paying on terminals that don't support wireless payment. And it's still interesting to see people talk about that. So really, really happy. And my Amazon assistant just told me I have something being delivered today from that's a book for my son. So yeah, and glad to see that you're in LA and hopefully you're doing well. So the Realme X55G is cheap too. It's also about 569 pounds. Yeah, there is a lot of competition. This is the thing about it, is that we don't have in the US as much. It's the fact that Xiaomi and Realme are actually very much competing in that market. So you have Oppo, you have Xiaomi, you have Realme, you have obviously other brands as well. So those are the things you want to keep in mind. I think for a budget price point, these devices supporting 5G as well as the latest chipset, there's no question. I mean, there's not. I think I heard it somewhere on XDA. So one of my buddies were talking, and I think they posted it. The 865 leveled the playing field for a lot of manufacturers, especially for manufacturers to be able to basically claim the 5G without necessarily having that specific, like a certain chipset. The 865 includes a X55 modem, which means any device that's able to put the 865 in gets 5G, which makes it very compelling. And of course, the price is dropping, as you can see right now. The 865 is we can have around 500 to 600 euros, and of course, even in the UK, about roughly 5 to 600 pounds. They're very, very good. Let's jump over here. Yeah, any news about Oh, the Tab S7 and the S20 or the S20. So I'm my hurt last time I actually talked to a buddy of mine. So there hasn't been a lot of news as far as what's going on. I think the what we saw essentially is the S6. I think you probably saw that there was that one available. But as far as the S7 or the S20, there haven't really been that much going on. And I'm actually still even waiting to hear from Samsung regarding the G9 series of the displays that they showed us at CES 2020. They were supposed to be released in the second quarter. And if I'm not mistaken, we're getting close to the end of the second quarter. So they may make some announcements around the time when they release the G9 TVs. It's not a TV, it's a gaming monitor with 240 hertz, but it's just ridiculously massive. Really, really, really nice. But let's go ahead and switch over let's talk a little bit about the Kyocera, the DuraForce. So here is the actual Kyocera DuraForce. And I do want to say thank you very much to Kyocera for sending me the device. And of course, let's not put the device too far. So here we have it. So this again is a Verizon exclusive device. The last one that I reviewed was also a Verizon exclusive. This one is a standard. Basically, it supports 4G LTE. So let me go ahead and just adjust, make sure that the comments are set up correctly. So this device essentially is, it has a 1770 milliamp battery. It's a lithium ion battery that charges via USB-C. So those some of the updates that they did on this. It does have water resistance. You'll notice that there is some gasket converting here, so it looks really good. USB-C charging port, and of course, you're able to close the gasket and close it very nice, and it's very flush. Here we have a button for option here, and I never really figured out what the button is for because I couldn't get it to work, but I think it's a configurable button. On the left, we have the push to talk option, which you're able to turn on and start talking with your friends. Volume rocker. We have two initiation buttons here, one on the top, one on the left, and you're able to basically initiate the display, turn on different things on the phone once you unlock it. And of course, here, obviously turning it on, back button. We have a camera with video support. So if you can jump into the settings real quick. So 5 megapixel sensor in here. You're capable of recording 720p video recording on here. Very nice. Assistant button here that's present that you're able to basically initiate.
Say a command.
Open the camera. Go to camera.
Camera opening.
Not that it's the fastest process, but it does work. And the camera is kind of present right there at the bottom. It does support, obviously, only Verizon. It will only work on Verizon. There is a wireless charging, or basically a contact charging option that is part of an accessory that they sell. The actual housing in here is very durable and rugged, and you should be able to actually drop it from like up to 6 feet and not even have a problem with it. A small display on the front, dual tone LED flash. And as far as images, let me go ahead and open up the gallery. Hold on, let me go to gallery. I took some pictures this morning. We went for a walk right before the actual live stream. So it actually not too bad overall here. It is. So you can actually kind of see the pictures. They look pretty good. So obviously you can go sideways. This is a picture of my son walking around. Not going to be the best camera, but of course, let's go ahead and just do a quick. Here we are. And you guys can also hear. So that's not too bad. For a camera that's built in, a 5 megapixel camera on a flip phone in 2020, it works really nice. Now we do have a browser, so let's go ahead and go back. We'll go menu, and of course we're going to go into the browser. So it has a built-in browser. You're able to basically play YouTube videos as well, and of course go side here. Let's go ahead and bring in.
This season on Instant Influencer. Hi sisters, James Charles here, and today I have something extra special.
So there's a mouse cursor. And of course, you can play a video. It has the dual speaker grill sitting at the bottom. There's going to be a full video done on this. Of course, I'm going to be putting it through its paces. Definitely really nice. I appreciate the fact that, Kyocera was able to send me this device to keep, to check it out. But again, it's one of the foldables. It does fold. And of course, it has some nice accessories. Actually, I didn't get a chance to show that to you guys. It did come with basically a nice little clip. So this is a much more rugged clip size. And then, of course, you can just basically put it in, close it. And the really cool accessory that they sent me that I found really, really fun is this one, which is actually a headset that uses, that gets connected. Before I go too far, I forgot to show you guys. In the box, we have obviously the charger and the USB-C cable, not much else going on. That's probably why I forgot to show it. And then this actually little accessory is really, really cool. So if you've ever seen those shows where people are actually, using the microphone or the headset sitting on the side of somebody's ear, and you don't almost see it. So first and foremost, to be able to put a headset in there, you need to open it up like this. So it does have that protection. And I really like the fact that there is a clip to this. So hopefully you guys could see that. And you put it in, and then you lock it. And then this literally becomes locked to the phone. So there's some heavy duty ruggedization done here. So on top of the fact that this supports obviously an MP3 player, and of course, a radio that's built in, this accessory makes it really cool. So let's go ahead and switch over back. So it uses this style of, I think it was like an earpiece, and where these things are the ones that, you see people that basically put it in and it sits behind the ear and it goes behind the person. So let's go ahead and do it this way. So I like to call these like the little the spy kind of things. So let me just go ahead and clip it to the picture. I don't know why. And it would be good if I tried this before. So you guys going to see here, it sits right there in the back. The microphone's sitting right there, and it's really nice and hidden. And of course, you can put the phone in the pocket. More like a la Secret Service style kind of a headphone. But it works really good. But it also works as an antenna. So we'll put that one. That was me fumbling with stuff here. Yeah, exactly. I think Gary is like, exactly. It's like the IFB. It's intended to be actually more of a ruggedized style phone for on the field. So a lot of people that work in the fire department, construction crew, anything basically that is outdoors that needs a device that is IP rated to basically withstand salt water. Like you can take this with you into the ocean and not even have a problem with it. Don't even have to sweat it. And of course, it just looks really good and just literally can take a beating and keep going. So that's one of the main benefits of this device. So I'm really happy that they were able to reach out. The first one that I did a few years back also did quite well, which I'm really happy. Yeah, no, definitely. So there's no touch. No, so sadly, no touch screen on this one. It's the. I mean, it's not a dumb phone, and I'm not saying dumb as in a bad way, but I mean like, non-smart features, no touchscreen and so on. So the first generation had this pretty much the same UI. The interface really didn't change much. What I did notice though, the big difference they did here is obviously the support for USB-C, the better accessories. I think this headset wasn't available on the first one. And the fact that it actually has also that locking mechanism. I can't tell you enough where we use headphones on devices that are easily removed. So obviously if it's not locked, it's easily in and out. Very simple. And then, of course, once you lock it, the whole phone literally stays on it. There's no removing it. So from a security standpoint, I like the functions. USB-C is definitely very nice. The battery lasts quite well. It does support 4G LTE with hotspot support, so you're able to share it. There's Wi-Fi, Bluetooth as well. And of course, do you also able to install, let's go ahead and switch over. I didn't get a chance to show you guys the UI. So UI-wise here. So click the menu. And hope you guys can see that. So we have basically call history, messages, contacts, gallery for the pictures that I was taking there. So as you saw, I've been taking a lot of pictures here. Here, let's see if this one looks better. It's hard to tell. I think that one's out of focus. So here, I was trying to take some pictures. And you can definitely see it looks good and good enough to be able to share. We also have, let's go back. Back one more time. Media, so we're able to play download. There's an SD card support in there. You can definitely download and listen to music there. Set up your email account, notification, as well as that built-in browser that we were talking about. You can watch YouTube since it does support it, and you can tilt the video to basically fit the display. So here, you can see it here.
What's your messaging behind it?
and it definitely works great. So I think from a functional standpoint, this device should be able to do a good job. So I really don't have any problems with it. I think it's mostly just again, it's a flip phone. If you're looking for a flip phone in case of an emergency, this is going to be really good. If you do work outdoors and you always worry about damaging your smartphone and you don't want to basically take it with you when you go in and working on site or being in a situation where you are possibly going to be slamming into something, this is going to take a lot of kicking. I'm actually some of my experiments, which I cleared with the company, made sure, because I wanted to make sure they were going to let me keep the phone at the end, because if I destroy it, it's not going to work. They're like, whatever durability test you'd like to do. So there's going to be a lot of drop tests. This is going to be one of those phones you drop test as much as possible. So foldable dual screen phone, Samsung has left. Samsung has left the chat. So Matt's pointing out, so foldable displays, I think there's actually been some rumors talked about. I think Max dropped a couple of times some information about the, I think, was it called the Samsung Galaxy Fold 2 Lite, which is supposed to be a cheaper version of the foldable that we've seen with no external display. So there's talks about new technologies. So on the speaker, yeah. So I think Matt, Aditya and Matt are jumping on it with each other. Kyocera used to make phones for Nextel, which, yeah, that's where we're getting the push to talk functionality as well. But it always sucked with Motorola. It depends on who you're getting. I've used the Motorola push to talk. It wasn't the best. You're right. Nextel always worked better for me. I felt like Nextel was the one that originally originated the whole push to talk. Remember, and they were the original only phone maker that actually supported it. So. But since the last Kyocera one that I did, and I actually had a chance to play around with the push to talk on this one, it works really good. This one can actually get very loud as far as the audio on this. And it's not because it's stereo, it's because of the dual speakers at the bottom, where last year we only had one. The aesthetics of it actually is very good, very durable. I feel like you can actually throw it at something and still not lose it. I like that they also make accessories that work really good, and I'm happy that this time they did send me accessories for it. I feel like that, if you share a device, especially a phone that is unique on its own, you want to be able to show it and show what it works with it. Let's jump over here. The image of Jerry Rig and the ESS quad DAC from the V60 and the V50 on that device. I think, you know what, we'll have to see how that works. I'm really hoping that the things do get improved. As overall, as far as the idea. Panda Calvin says, I like the flip phone style. Definitely. Like I said, it depends on what you see. I think it is. I think it is running the 855. So here, Greg says, Kyocera is my first track phone. Yeah, no, I think as a company, actually, they've just shifted to be more of on the ruggedized side. I mean, we see Kyocera's, the DuraForce, they made actually other even smartphones that are ruggedized, and we've seen them in the past. I think just the fact that they updated it for 2020, I think it's very good. And of course, it is still pretty much like a Verizon partnership that they've had for quite some time. Chemi saying something like that with the WhatsApp and 4G is needed for everyday people. That was about the only thing, which surprisingly enough, I didn't get a chance to mention it. This is actually running Android. It's a broken down version of Android, but it is Android running as the operating system. So I'm going to try to see if I can side load an APK and see. Whoa. Okay, we're back again. Seems like we're having some concerns. Only 6 gigs of RAM, Simon says. Yeah. I mean, 6 gigs is not bad. It depends on what you're doing, right? It just has to be basically what you're looking at. Wouldn't that be messed up where I'm in the chat and I'm the one running it, and I'm the one who actually kind of ends it, and the show ends early. But I think that was mostly it for me today. I didn't really have a lot of other things going on. This week's kind of, I wanted to. Yeah, I have a feeling the internet is about to cut out on me, and I don't want to test it out too long. So with that being said, I am going to start basically kind of circling everything and bringing it kind of to closure, because I have a feeling like this is going to end up being that one time where we had the show kind of all go out. short answer is this: the giveaway is going to be going on for a week. I am going to post obviously about it on Instagram and on Twitter for people to be able to check it out. And it's a simple answer, simple thing. Just like and comment. And of course, if you're subscribed, you're obviously going to be very, very well appreciated by myself as well as everybody else in the group. Yeah, Steve is talking about. I think your ISP doesn't like it when you're streaming more than an hour. Oh man, and especially since this week I've streamed. So there was a 2-hour stream on Tuesday, a 1-hour stream on Thursday, and this would be my So I think I'm pushing it with them. If there's anything on the iPhone SE 2020 is a ripoff. I think honestly, if you're an iPhone user, Panda, it's really more about the user base. So just be aware. It's not a bad phone. It has a lot of good functionalities. It's definitely a good entry level device for somebody that likes smaller phones on Apple's ecosystem, on the iOS ecosystem. As a device, though, personally, I feel like it's a little bit too small for me. I'm used to much bigger displays, and the way the information, at least on this, from used to being able to basically open up a page and a half of something to now opening basically half of it and have to scroll to see the whole image. That would be my only thing. It's just more of a form factor. I don't think it's a bad device. There is a market for it, and people are buying it. And I do have the video coming up very soon on some of the best accessory for it. But I feel like there's things to be said. But yes, so with that being said, thank you very much for everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome. And of course, if you're new watching the show, thank you for checking out and supporting the show as usual. Make sure you check out Matt and Sam's show tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and of course, 9 p.m. UK time, as they're going to be broadcasting from actually, I'm not sure, but I think Sam is the one who hosts it. It'll be over on Twitch, and I'll make sure to follow me on Twitter. I'll make sure to tweet that out for you guys as well. Giveaway 1 week from now till next Saturday. And again, all you have to do is comment and like. And if you subscribe, obviously support it. And I'll be posting some more information as well on Twitter. So to stay connected with me, it's TK Bay here on YouTube, TKDSL8655 on Instagram, Twitter, as well as Facebook. And of course, thank you very much. And I wish everybody in the live stream the best of luck. And do me a favor, again, as soon as the video stops or becomes available on YouTube after the show, after I basically end the actual recording here, make sure you like and comment on that. I appreciate it very much. I'll see you guys next week, and be safe. Stay home if you're able to, and have fun, and best of luck on the actual device. I'll see you guys next week.